On daily basis, I receive a lot of messages from engineering students, freshers and early professionals saying that they are very average at coding and it doesn't interest them much. So will they ever be successful in their IT career? And students who are not from computer science and IT background or branches in their engineering, they message me asking what should they do to land in a job in IT industry. There are many students who tell me that they are even reluctant to apply for internships because they feel as they are average at coding or below average, they'll screw it up in the internship. I really feel amazed and sad at the same time looking at the awareness level of these students. So let's talk about it. What do you think the companies give to code to anybody who joins them, especially a fresher? They'll allow them to code for their softwares, the softwares which are soul of the companies, the software products which get them $1 million revenue per year. Do you think they'll allow anybody to play with the code of that software? No, right? Then why there is a lot of fear? Mind you guys, there are very few teams inside a company which are involved into coding, like proper coding. Apart from that, there are a lot of teams in a company. There exist so many jobs in parallel that does not require you to be great at coding. So in this video, I'll first bust out a lot of myths about coding jobs in IT industry. Second, I'll tell you the hottest selling skill in IT industry, and mind you, it is not coding skills. And third, I'll tell you about other teams that exist in a IT company which does not require you to code. This video is going to be loaded with priceless information that you rarely get over internet. So try to stick around as much as you can. Welcome to Corporate Diaries. Welcome back guys. So from all the questions that I received from a lot of engineering students, there is one single thing that I can gauge very clearly, that students think being good at coding is the only way to be successful in IT industry. While I don't say that it is not, but that's for sure is not the only way. Don't simply assume that if you have studied engineering and you got a job, then you will be doing coding only. No. At this point in time, you never know which project you will be assigned, whether that project will have fair amount of coding or not. In fact, comparatively, there are very less jobs that requires you to write a fresh code, to create it from scratch. And most of those jobs simply go to IITians or students from other premier institute, or to the students who are exceptional at it and genuinely want to pursue that as a career. Or if you are joining any company, any product company which are still in its startup phase and are yet to launch their product, and you get to be hands-on on their code, only then you got to write something fresh or from scratch. Apart from that, most of the software developers do changes in the already existing code, doing addition deletions in that existing code, or working on a maintenance project, or adding some more functions and features to it. And most of them do it by searching the code on Google. Yes, the Google search, where you search everything else for yourself. The same Google. And not only software developers, for other profiles as well, for example your IT administrators, they troubleshoot the network or your system by finding out the queries or commands on Google, and there's nothing wrong in that. So the point to remember is that a corporate job is not like your exams where you are only allowed to use your memory database and perform the task. No, you are free to use all the available resources. The final thing that matters, or the ultimate thing that matters, is the work should be done. You should get the work done. And please feel free to speak to your software developer friends if you have anybody, and ask them how many of them are writing a code from scratch, like a fresh code. I'm sure 90% of them, or maybe more, will say no, they are not doing it, because that's the truth. And here I'm not trying to demean anyone's job. I'm not saying editing the existing code is a cakewalk. No, you need that intellect to use the available resources also the right way. You need that intelligence for that, and you have to keep yourself upgraded with the latest emerging technologies, which are like ever changing. That itself is a challenging task. So the biggest and hottest skill required by IT industry is not coding, it's problem solving. How you solve that, what resources you utilize to solve that is not limited to your own intelligence. You can go out in the world, seek help, and get it done. The only thing that matters is that you have to solve the problem. You provide a solution for a problem. If it was dependent on a very few people's intelligence, most of these startups wouldn't exist today. Obviously, they seek help from their network, from Google, or from whatever resources possible, but they definitely do, and that's the only way to scale ahead. Plus, there are so many teams inside an IT company. Software development is like one or two teams in the entire IT company. There exists another world of so many teams, and definitely they are not about coding. They are not about coding. In fact, they have pretty interesting tasks and activities that they do on their day-to-day basis. The profiles are really interesting, but the point is whether you are ready to evaluate. Do you have that awareness level to go for those teams? There are many teams like that, but here I want to mention a few so that I can enhance your perception about an IT company. So some of the technical teams are like your QA team, quality assurance team, or you call it testing team, where the testers review the code written by software developer, whether it's running correctly, is there any kind of bug or any other error exists. Then there is IT security team, some call it as cyber security as well. They ensures all the firewall stuff, the network is protected of the company. Then there is IT infrastructure team, which ensure that the infrastructure is running well and smoothly, the systems, the machines, the connectivity of the entire company is running well. Then there is project management team, which tracks the progress of every project, and they deal with clients, they speak to client on daily basis, they interact with them and make sure that the deliveries are done within the time and within the agreed SLA. Then there are companies who offer professional services to their customers. So these teams identify innovation and improvement opportunities on real-time basis. Companies do have these teams because it's kind of strategic to their customer success. There exists a whole world. Just because you are an average student at coding, or just because you don't have an inclination towards coding, that does not mean that you will not be successful in an IT company or in your IT career. Most of the tasks in an organization are process driven. There are standardized process to do mostly everything inside an organization. You will be trained on that process, and you will not be allowed to deviate from that process, even if you want to. Even if you feel that you have some roof breaking idea and you want to implement it, you will not be allowed to deviate from what is already described in the process. It will take entire series of approval for you to get there. So what I'm trying to say here is, don't get stuck with the idea that all the jobs in IT industry are about coding. Because if you do that, you will take extreme decisions which will be fatal for your future growth. Many students tell me that they prefer doing business instead, because anyway they don't know the coding, so it's better to go for a business than doing an IT job. So well, I ask them, do you have any plan, or do you have in your knowledge, do you have any skill which you wish to monetize or want to capitalize on? And believe me, they are as blank about their business theory as they are about their IT career jobs. See, if you have something in mind, if you have a skill, you have identified something which interests you, which you feel that yes, this is what I wish to do for rest of my life, then please go ahead with it. There's nothing wrong in that. But if you are taking that business route just as an escape from your IT career failure, then that's going to be a tragedy. And I really don't know from where these students are getting this perception that being an entrepreneur or starting something of their own, any business, is much easier than doing an IT job. Mind you guys, doing a business takes much more commitment, dedication and patience than any job does. The biggest advice that I can give you guys is that the education system that we are in gives us a very limited perception about everything. As of now, you might not even know the reason why you don't like coding or why you are not good at it. Maybe it's simply because of the person who's teaching you that. There is hell lot of difference between doing a coding as a subject, studying it in your engineering, and then implementing it in a practical scenario where there exists every kind of challenge. So don't assume anything. I personally know people who were pathetic at coding in their engineering classes but did remarkably well when joined a coding job in IT company. They fell in love with it. They realized that this is something they really wish to do for the rest of their life, and they scaled exponentially once they started doing that because that was their genuine interest. And on the contrary, I've also seen people who were really good in coding in their engineering classes, but when they came to the real job, they literally cried. They were like, this is horrible and I'm not interested in doing that. So my dear students, evaluate yourself well. Don't jump onto conclusions that you don't like this or you are very bad at it, you can't do this or you can't do that. Finding your genuine interest is a journey, is an evolving journey. It's not something that will pop out in your head in one fine day and you'll be like, everything sorted, this is my genuine interest and I'll do this for the rest of my life. No, it's an evolving process. As and when you start learning new things, you'll get to know what you actually like and what you don't like. And if you are getting an opportunity for internship or a full-time job, please grab that. There's nothing wrong in that. Job is not only about technical success or a career orientation, it will also help you evolve as a person. You will see yourself changing because until now you were a student, now you are a earning professional. You will move out from that comfort zone of being a student where everything was provided to you. Now you will have to earn for yourself for everything, and that's an amazing journey. That's an amazing journey to evolve as a successful human being, not just a IT aspirant, but as a human being. And who knows, while being on that journey, you find something which really interests you, which you always thought is not your cup of tea. And once you start doing a job, you will realize your capabilities, you will realize your earning potential, you will realize what you are really good at and what you are not. And once you have clarity about your capabilities and your potential, you will be successful at whatever you choose to do. Whether it's a business or it's a IT job or it's some other job, you'll be successful at that because now you know the core of yourself. So don't waste much time being in mindset of a typical student. Rather, act on the options that you have for becoming a successful professional. There's a lot to talk about. There is a lot that I wish to share with you all as a career counselor, but if I continue to do so in this video, I'll be here forever. So I end today's session here only. Stay connected for more such content, and I'll see you in my next video. Till then, stay safe and healthy. Take care. Bye.